What's up, people? Andrew Gosling back again, back at the Bend Motorsports Park. We're actually at the track now. You can see in the background we're on the track, we're on the scooter. We're going to go for a run around and see how we can get. If you can see up there, you can see, as I said last night, it's very much a construction site, so it's going to be interesting to see what it's like out there, where we can go. As you can see, there's a bunch of that fencing that I mentioned last night. So hopefully there's plenty of places where that's not a problem. But let's fire up the GoPro, go for a run. This is the first time I've seen it. Have no idea what it's going to be like, so you're getting to see what I see. Catch ya. Okay, we've made it to turn one. We're at the end of the main straight. Straight's all the way up there. We've come to the end of the first lot of the catch fencing. Couple of things I've noticed so far. There are basically no holes in that catch fencing to shoot through. So pretty much down here and down through this part is where you're going to be able to shoot from. The other thing I've noticed is, you may notice that when I was doing the GoPro footage, I was actually on the other side of that fence over there. That's the spectator area. The reason I went down that side of the fence is that down here, this is kind of like Sahara Desert, I'd guess. And further down there, I actually had to walk the scooter through. It's that deep. So at the moment, getting around is going to be a challenge, because walking the scooter through when I'm carrying a couple of cameras and some big lenses is just going to be a challenge. So there may be a need to figure out another way to get here. Could come down that road, jump over the fence. That's fine. But unfortunately, just up there, you then can't take the scooter any further. So it's blocked off. So a little bit more work to do on the service roads. I was told that it could be a little bit sandy. It's very sandy. Anyway, let's move on and we'll see. We'll go up around turn one, continue around the circuit and see what we can come up with. Okay, we got turn two out there. As you can see, it is a long way away. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on the truck over there. Does it want to focus? Yes. So that's turn two. I guess up through turn three. Little bit of elevation change. I'm guessing from top to bottom this place is maybe 4, 5, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 meters of elevation change from top to bottom. It's a bit hard to say. You can see up, that's probably the high point, just up there, and pit lane is the low point. So yeah, maybe, yeah, somewhere in the 5 to 10 meter of elevation change. Very concerned that we are a long way from the track. We've got nice safety barriers here, so nobody can complain about us. Access roads are there. Well, access dirt. It's not too bad now. We've got past the. Hopefully, we've got past the desert sands, and we can actually get around reasonably easy. Guess we'll head up that way and see where we go from there. Okay, we've made it up to probably the high point of the circuit. Just over there, it comes up a rise, comes up over a hill. could be interesting. Could be interesting to see what how the bikes look as they come over that hill. Not feeling the cones over there. That's that's going to be a bit ugly, but we'll get there. You could imagine that this is just a little bit like coming over the hill and down the back straight at Barbagallo. It's got a little bit of the feel of that. Nowhere near the dip off and the run down there. But we could hope that maybe as the superbikes come over there, they might lift the front wheel, so it might give us something. It's still very dusty out there, as you can see. Got some cars going around now. So let's move on to the next spot. We'll see what's down the road. We've finally got some bikes out on track. Production Supersport 300s. We're close to pretty much, that's the final turn, heading back onto the straight over there. I haven't excuse me, I haven't done many stops along the way. There's a bunch of areas between where I last was and here that you really can't see the track. It's either very high up or there's a whole bunch of catch fencing in the way. So a lot of this part of the track is probably photographically going to be just pretty much a loss. So we'll have to, there's some really nice spots up at the top of the track. Unfortunately, they're also the furthest away from the pit lane, so they're going to take the longest to get to. One thing I have learned about this place, you are going to need a scooter to get around. There is virtually no, there's no walking this track. If you walk, it's going to take you all day to walk it. There is car access, but again, it's over on the other side. Marshals and that are getting to points, but I don't know what it's like. Some of these access roads are challenging on the scooter at the moment, but yeah, it is what it is, so we'll survive. Might get back now, grab a camera and see if we can actually take some photos. Hi everybody, I thought I'd just add a few little comments to the footage that you've just watched. Well, hopefully you've just watched. If you've got this far, I guess you have watched it. That was done very early this morning. Since then I've been around the track I think about 4 or 5 times. It's a really nice track, but it is a big challenge to get around. Some of the service roads are in very construction state. The really good thing about the place is that the people at the circuit are really interested in trying to make it better. I had a talk to a couple of the guys about one particular area which is very, very bad in terms of deep sand. They said, yep, no worries, they've got the gear to get it sorted, they'll get it sorted before we come back. That too often is just not the case. You go to so many circuits and they're just not that helpful for you. So these guys really, really want to get it right, and that's a really good thing. This place is going to be awesome in 12-18 months when the grass and all that greenery has established itself. I can see this being, used for lots of things like bike launches, car launches, all those sort of things on top of racing. I had a bunch more footage that I was going to use. Unfortunately, once the bikes got out on track, I actually realised that it was part of the full circuit and not the international circuit that we're running on. It's very hard to sort of figure out where things are. at the moment, still trying to actually figure out how to get to a bunch of the places on the international circuit. Again, the circuit people have been really helpful. They've actually said that we can get onto the track in the sections that aren't actually hot. The problem is I've gone down there, and to get to the track means crossing catch traps, dirt areas, so there's just trying to figure out how we can actually get around it. It's really a learning exercise for everyone, as the guys at the circuit said, they're still trying to figure out how it all works, and we're pretty much crash test dummies on how that happens. The circuit itself, it's proving to be really brutal on tyres. Talked to a couple of people, well, several people, and most of them are having tyres just rip up. It's just the fact that the circuit is brand new. There's virtually no rubber on the circuit, so it's just tearing up tyres. Some people said this afternoon was better, it was warmer, they were getting up to speed faster. Others were still having problems. So combination of bike setup and track that still needs to rubber in a lot. Before we come back here, I think I don't think it's this weekend, I think it's next weekend. There's a big car race that's going to be here, so that should lay down a whole heap of rubber. Get the feeling that by the time we come back here in a couple of weeks' time, it'll be a totally different track in terms of how it deals with tyres and that sort of thing. But at the moment, that's a bit of an issue. So far, my prediction on times are way out. It looks like the fastest times are, I think, in the 155s at the moment. So I'm probably about 11 seconds out on what my prediction was going to be. There's probably a little bit more time still to go, especially as the track rubbers up and gets better, and settings and people actually learn the circuit. It's a very wide circuit, and as a few people said, just trying to figure out what the best line for the place is going to take some time. It's not a track that everybody's been around hundreds and hundreds of times. This is it. This is the first time that anyone's been around it at full speed. So it's a learning process. Anyway, it was a good day. Kind of got some nice shots. Learned a bit about the place. Learnt some places and times and where things are going to work for. Go back tomorrow and hopefully it can actually put some of that into use and then be ready for the race when it comes. Right now, I'll say good night, and I'll catch you maybe even tomorrow night, depends on what happens. Catch you. Oh, by the way, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, notifications, you know the deal. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.